We're talking about the ultra-rare 2009 top 4 Bicentennial Lincoln Pennies. With errors so unique and valuable, collectors are in bidding wars to get their hands on these. These little treasures have sold for jaw-dropping amounts at auction, more than a brand new car, more than a luxury vacation, and in some cases, as much as a down payment on a house. And how can you tell if you've got one of these jackpot coins hiding in plain sight? Hold on to your change jars and coin rolls, because what I'm about to show you could be life-changing. Imagine finding a simple 2009 penny, yes, that Lincoln Bicentennial penny sitting quietly in your pocket. Well, buckle up, because hidden among these pennies is one of the most shocking and valuable error coins ever to escape the US Mint. Let's start at the beginning. The year was 2009, a pivotal one for coin collectors across America. It marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and to celebrate, the U.S. Mint released a special series of 4 Lincoln cents, each representing a different chapter of Honest Abe's life. But while the design was already special, what makes this coin truly exciting for collectors is what went wrong. Let's break down the top 3 most valuable error varieties found on the 2009 formative year's Lincoln cent. 2009 DDR-FS 801, the Millionaire Maker. Features: extremely strong doubling on both hands and the book. Graded MS67RD by PCGS, auctioned for over $10,000. Rumored perfect MS68 examples could reach $50,000 plus if they hit the market. 2009 DDR-FS 802, the Hidden Treasure. Features: slightly lighter doubling than FS 801, but still very visible. MS66 examples sell for $800 to $2,000. 2009 Denver Mint DDR varieties. Features: rarer because most DDRs were struck at Philadelphia. Low mintage equals higher scarcity. High-grade examples could fetch $3,000 to $8,000. Why these coins are so rare? Here's something most collectors don't realize. In 2009, with the economic crisis in full swing, fewer people were collecting coins. And since the Lincoln Bicentennial pennies were released into general circulation, many of the valuable errors were overlooked, spent, or damaged beyond recognition. Additionally, the Mint produced billions of pennies that year. But of those, only a tiny fraction had the double die error. Combine that with low error detection awareness at the time, and it's no surprise that pristine examples are insanely rare today. Movie camera real stories from collectors. Let's take a quick look at some real stories from collectors who hit the jackpot. John M. from Ohio found a 2009 DDR-FS 801 in a roll of bank-wrapped pennies. Graded MS66, it sold for $4,250. Emily R. in Florida discovered a raw error coin while helping her child with a school project. It was later valued at $12,000. Coin dealer forums report bidding wars over top-graded examples, with collectors willing to pay up to $20,000 for the right coin. These aren't myths. These are real people turning common change into incredible paydays. Hold on to your pocket change, because one of the most ordinary-looking coins in your collection might just be worth a small fortune. Imagine pulling out a 2009 Lincoln penny, yes, that common copper-colored coin. The year 2009 was a major one for U.S. coinage, especially for the humble Lincoln penny. It marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and to celebrate, the U.S. Mint released 4 special reverse designs representing different stages of Lincoln's life: birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, presidency in Washington, D.C. Why the 2009 presidency penny is special. At first glance, the 2009 presidency penny doesn't look particularly different. It weighs the same, it feels the same, and the majority are copper-plated zinc coins, just like most modern Lincoln cents. But don't be fooled. Error types that can be worth $1,000 to $50,000. Now let's talk about the real money makers, the errors and varieties that transform an ordinary penny into a treasure worth thousands. Bronze planchet errors, up to $50,000 plus. Double die reverse, DDR, up to $5,000 to $10,000. Off-center strikes, up to $1,000 to $3,000. Coins not properly aligned in the press. Some are missing 5% to 80% of the design. Clipped planchets and die breaks, up to $1,000 plus. These add both visual interest and collectible value. Missing edge or weak strike errors, up to $800 to $2,000. Light strike, or missing parts of the reverse design. May appear as though the Capitol dome is faded or incomplete. Often confused with wear, but if it's from the mint process, it's worth money. Auction records and real-world sales, here's where the jaw-dropping numbers come in. 2009 Lincoln Presidency Penny, proof, struck on a bronze planchet, sold for $24,150 at Heritage Auctions. 2009 Lincoln Presidency Cent with a major off-center strike, sold for $2,500. 2009 Double Die Reverse Examples certified by PCGS, some sold for $5,000 to $7,500. High-grade MS69RD coins with subtle die varieties, seen fetching $1,000 to $2,000 just for their top-tier grade and luster. What if I told you that a single, seemingly ordinary 2009 penny could secretly be worth $1,000, $10,000, or even an astonishing $50,000? That's right, today, we're diving into one of the most thrilling coin collecting mysteries in modern U.S. history, the 2009 birth and early childhood Lincoln Bicentennial Cent, specifically, the ultra-rare and valuable error coins that are quietly selling for life-changing amounts at auctions across the country. These aren't your typical pennies. They were minted to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's life, but a select few carry mistakes so rare, collectors will pay tens of thousands just to get their hands on one. Background: 2009 marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and to honor the 16th President of the United States, the U.S. Mint launched a 4-part Lincoln Bicentennial 1-cent program. These special cents each featured a different reverse design to celebrate key chapters of Lincoln's extraordinary life: birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, presidency in Washington, D.C. But our focus today is the first coin in that series, the birth and early childhood in Kentucky design, released on February 12, 2009. Major minting errors, some so rare that they're now fetching 5-figure prices. Here are the most notable error types that send collectors into a frenzy: double die reverse, DDR, errors. Value range, $1,000 to $15,000 plus depending on strength and condition. Some well-struck examples in MS67 red, mint state, full red luster, have been sold at auction for over $10,000. Off-center strikes, value range, $250 to $2,000 plus depending on how off-center the strike is. Die cracks and cuts, value range, $100 to $1,500, missing or weak design elements, value range, $200 to $3,000 plus depending on rarity. Satin finish SMS strikes, some of these satin finish coins have been found with error combinations, like off-center or double die features, which makes them extremely rare. Value range, $500 to $5,000 plus, and in MS69 condition with pristine luster and rarity, values can skyrocket even higher. Real auction sales and stunning values, double die reverse, DDR, in MS67RD, sold for $12,000. A sharply struck example certified by PCGS with full red color and prominent doubling on the log cabin was auctioned for $12,000, shocking collectors and making headlines. Trophy eBay private sale, off-center satin finish penny, reportedly sold for $7,800. A satin finish 2009 birth and early childhood cent with a 40% off-center strike was said to be privately sold to a top collector through eBay for nearly $8,000. While unverified, this sale triggered a flood of off-center error submissions to grading services. Trophy PCGS graded MS69RD satin finish with die crack, asking price $50,000. That's right, one tiny, copper-colored coin from 2009, specifically, the Professional Life Bicentennial Lincoln Penny, has shocked the coin-collecting world with its mind-blowing error versions. In this video, we're diving deep into the rarest 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Professional Life error pennies, how they were made, what makes them so valuable, and how you can identify one in your change or coin roll. Trust me, you'll want to watch until the very end because we're revealing the most jaw-dropping error variety that turned a 1-cent piece into a small fortune. The year 2009 was a monumental one for the U.S. Mint. It marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent itself, first introduced in 1909. To commemorate this dual bicentennial, the U.S. Mint launched a special 4-design penny series, each representing a pivotal chapter in Lincoln's life. Our focus today is the third coin in that series, the Professional Life Penny, which features a young Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol in Springfield. It's a powerful symbol of his early political career and a fan favorite among collectors. The most valuable errors to watch for. Let's get into the juicy details. These are the top error types found on the 2009 Professional Life pennies that have sold for incredible prices. Double die errors, DDR, light doubling, $100 to $300. Moderate doubling, with clear separation $500 to $1,000. Dramatic, eye-popping DDR, $3,000 to $10,000. One DDR variety found on a 2009 D Professional Life penny sold for $7,500 in a PCGS holder graded MS67RD. Off-center strike errors, minor, 5% to 10% $50 to $150. Major, 30% to 50% $500 to $2,000. Extreme, 60% plus and date visible $5,000 to $10,000. One particularly dramatic off-center strike with a bold, clear 2009 date sold for $4,800 in early 2023. Misaligned die clash, minor clash, $100 to $400. Prominent, centered clash, $1,000 to $3,000. Collectors go crazy for clean, visible clashes, especially those graded MS66 or higher. Wrong planchet errors, if struck on a dime planchet, $5,000 to $15,000. If struck on a foreign coin planchet, up to $25,000. One example struck on a Guatemalan 10 centavo blank sold for over $12,000. Missing clad layer or copper plating errors, partial missing plating, $100 to $400. Full missing plating, entire surface $2,000 to $5,000. A full missing clad layer penny from 2009 graded MS66 sold for nearly $3,750. Why these errors are worth so much? So, why exactly are collectors shelling out thousands of dollars for a coin that normally isn't even worth a gumball? White heavy checkmark limited quantity. Error coins like these are extremely rare, often with fewer than 100 known examples. White heavy checkmark visual drama. Collectors love coins with clear, visible flaws. The bolder the error, the higher the value.